Welcome to Care Sandwich, the podcast where we dive into the success journeys of law firm owners across the country. I'm Margarita Everline, your host and the founder of Marketing Boss, a fractional chief marketing officer firm for law firms. On this show, we'll explore the challenges, strategies, and victories that have shaped law firms and how they wrap every interaction with care. Because we believe that caring isn't just a value, it's a strategy for success. So grab your favorite sandwich, sit back, and let's dig into a conversation filled with insight, inspiration, and of course, a lot of care. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Care Sandwich. I have Kevin Daisey as my guest for today, and he is a co-founder of Array Digital, and he is also a podcast host. You've got to check out his podcast. It's called the Managing Partners Podcast, and it's everywhere where your podcasts need to be. So Kevin is going to tell you a little bit more about himself, his company, what he does, how he helps attorneys. And before he does that, though, he's going to answer a very important question, the most important question we ever ask on this show, which is, what is your favorite sandwich? Because it is, after all, the Care Sandwich podcast.
Oh, man, you threw me for a curveball. My favorite sandwich. Let's see. We'll go with a Reuben.
Really? Interesting. Mustard, no mustard, what condiments?
Do the, I guess what is it, like the, what's it come on? Is it like the Russian sauce or whatever?
Yeah. Sauce.
You can switch it out, I think, with different things, but I don't like too much sauce on my sandwiches.
Yeah. I like a lot of sauce.
Just like a burger, I don't like 10,000 things on top of it. Like, give me a burger with cheese and ketchup and mustard. I'm good.
That's cool. You and my 4-year-old have the same exact taste in burgers. I love it.
We're easy.
Yeah, awesome. I love it. So, Kevin, you help law firm owners with digital. I want to ask you specifically about your best advice when it comes to legal marketing strategy trends, because I get asked by a lot of attorneys, like, what do I need to do? Just tell me what to do. And you're the guy to ask.
I appreciate that. Yeah. So, radio, I guess in a nutshell, we're a search company. So, law firms are trying to be found and show up for their services. And so, we don't help firms with like creative and branding and pretty stuff other than the website. Mm-hmm. And so we really focus on the bottom of the funnel. Are you there when they're looking and when they need you? Or they're in that process, so maybe it's they're researching or they have high intent. We really pretty much try to focus on only offering services that enhance that and grow that piece of it. In your market, there's a certain amount of people looking right now, today, or have a situation that they're in, they need an attorney's help. And so we try to eliminate anything that doesn't focus on that. So we don't do like
I'm gonna expand a little bit on that and explain what you just said in a different way, because I work with a lot of attorneys, and I'm gonna point this out. A lot of attorneys don't understand that the creative and the technical, like I know what keywords, I know where to put them, I know how to link things. I'm going to try to keep it. I'm trying not to go into the weeds. They don't understand that those are two separate specialties. And so a lot of attorneys make the mistake of going to an agency that will tell them, we're a branding digital agency. And they're like, okay, great. Can you also do my SEO? And it's like, right? And you and I know the difference because we're in the marketing space. But I wanted to explain that because what you just described, it really is a high skill, and it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of time. Like a lot of the tasks, because I think about it in tasks, and I talk to my clients about it in terms of tasks. A lot of the tasks are very technical, very time consuming, but like you can't just use like a low skill person to like copy paste stuff. Like you really have to be strategic and analytical when you're doing or performing these technical tasks to achieve the sort of success that you've achieved for your law firm clients. So I want you to talk more about that, like without getting too technical because the audience is attorneys, but outline it for us in terms of time and effort. I think we can all speak that language, right?
Sure, no, I appreciate that. Yeah, so yeah, we're deeply technical and specialized, and it's taken years to to build up and get there and focus and understand what we're trying to do. So, yeah, as far as like workload and time and effort that goes
Mm-hmm.
into it, one, you have to have a strategy, which has to be based on data research, competitors, goals of the firm. So a lot of things that need to be happening up front versus like, oh, buy SEO package 1 or 2 or 3. Like that's
Right.
not how it works. And so, the strategy up front, there's a lot of time spent on understanding what we need to do. Is it going to align with the goals, expectations? I know my lawyers, right? They want the world, but what can we actually do? And
Right.
what situation are they currently in? That's the other thing.
Right.
And so you have
It,
to
it,
look at all of that. You know,
yeah. Yeah, it reminds me a little bit of, I don't know if you've seen that Pawn Stars meme where it's like the guy from Pawn Stars and they're
yep,
like, oh, can you do it for X? How about I give you $1, right? Like sometimes it's like, and I don't think and I don't mean that to be mean, but like, I think they just don't understand like how much work this is, which is why I kind of wanted to go down this route.
sure.
And I want to talk specifically about the reputation, the branding and the reputation management. So what you just described as the strategy, that will include what's going to be your creative angle, right? And they need to have that before they really start to push the message out. It's like, it's not just I'm pushing a message, call me now. It's how am I going to stand out? That's a very important question to answer, have as a part of your strategy alongside a technical strategy. For branding and reputation management specifically, walk us through the process that you take with clients to get them that assuming they have a good message, the reputation, right? I wanted to emphasize that because it's
Assuming they
that's
have Margarita looking out for them, right?
yeah,
No, you're 100% right. So if we only fit into a piece of this, but we have to look at the whole thing, or we're not doing our job, and they might fail, and then we ultimately lose a client, or they don't meet their expectations, their goals. So if we don't look at the whole thing, we can't just insert our piece and have success.
mm-hmm.
So yeah, the firm has to be working on their brand, messaging, their offering, their target audience. Who are they talking to? Are they talking to them properly? Reputation, reviews. Like there's so many things that the law firm needs to be working on, and we need to know where they are with those things in order for our piece to actually be effective. And so I think that is a big point that you're making there is if you ignore all those things, and this goes all the way, I mean, it goes so much deep processes, your staff, your culture, your intake process, your client experience. Do you even have one journeyed out?
Right.
And so you're thinking, well, crap, how can we ever hire Kevin if, got all these things have to be in place. And so to your point, when I talk to a new client, a new law firm, it's an interview, right? It's a therapy session. It's,
Yes, a lot of them have.
do you know these numbers? Do you know these studies? What have you done in the past? What's your relationship been with other agencies? Was it good? Was it bad? Were you not doing what your part was, or was the agency not doing their part? There's a lot of a lot of questions, and it gives us a sense of, hey, is this a good client for us, or can we be successful for them? And then you got to get
Yeah.
into, do they have the budget for it?
That's beautiful, and it's very
Yeah.
responsible, and it's one of the reasons why we like referring folks to your agency, because a lot of agencies will just take the business and just milk it for however, knowing, like I've been in rooms where it's like, this client doesn't even have like a brand yet, and you really think you can get them those results, and oh yeah, this is gonna be great, sign here.
It is amazing. And I'm talking to 2 different clients that just referred to us last week.
Mm-hmm.
99% bounce rate on the homepage. Terrible photo of the attorney that everyone probably leaves right off the bat. It's just weird. And all these other conversion rate like conversion things that are not in place. Meaning I'm going to drive traffic to you and you pay us for that. And then who cares what happens after that? That's your problem. And so you constantly have to be working on everything to better position yourself and convert more of the traffic that you're getting. And I'm just talking about digital, right? Let's just say you're doing radio, TV, everything. You're driving eyeballs, brand, lift, and they get there, and you're not doing everything every single month to go, okay, how can we adjust? How can we tweak? Why are people not going here or clicking there? Why do they not get the message? Do they not feel comfortable with the
Right.
lawyer? How do we make sure the lawyer's seen and heard and they can make a connection with them to then go, oh, you know what? I'm ready to reach out and make a decision here. And so you have to look at all those things, and we can't help with doing all those things. We don't. You bring in people like yourself and internal marketers and other agencies to get those things to be addressed. So, yeah, back to your point. It's a lot that goes into it, and makes it difficult to
You
you can't
mentioned
sell every farm. So
Yeah, you mentioned a KPI, a term that I want to go back to and expand on. If you're an attorney and you're listening to this, I want you to find out, and this is something simple that anybody can do if you have Google Analytics or your marketing team or whatever. Just ask your team this question. What is the bounce rate on my website and my landing pages? I'm gonna put on my CMO hat and tell you the way that I process when I see a high bounce rate. The second question that I ask is, if I have a high bounce rate, am I selling? Because if I have a high bounce rate and I'm selling, that means that people are getting in, getting what they need, making a purchase and getting out. I'm not going to worry about that. If I see a high bounce rate and I'm not selling, I'm not converting, the traffic isn't going to my social media or somewhere else that I can say, oh, they came to my website and they had a positive experience and at some point converted somewhere else, then at that point, we have more than likely a branding problem. Your pictures are outdated, pixelated, not attractive to your target audience. Your buttons are all over the place. Things are not working. Assuming Kevin's your guy, I'm sure it's not going to be technical issues like links and stuff like that, right? But if it's aesthetics, I'm going to call it aesthetics. Kevin can give you the best SEO strategy, do all the things, put all the words, connect all the dots, and do all the, I'm going to call it SEO witchcraft out there, right? To get them to you. Like, they're not going to buy. And think about it. We're all consumers, right?
mm-hmm.
When we go to an ad, I always like to use this example because it's easy. When we go to an ad for a pair of black shoes, we click the ad, and then we're driven to a page that has sneakers. None of us are going to want to buy. Or where the shoes don't look dirty. Like, why would you want to buy dirty shoes? It's the same thing with the legal space.
Absolutely.
So I can go on forever. But Kevin, how did you get started working with attorneys? This always fascinates me. I know my attorney of why I like to suffer with attorneys, but tell me yours. How did you go down this path with attorneys?
I get this question a lot. Why in the heck would anyone want to work with attorneys? I mean, come on.
Trauma.
Well, long story short, I started my first in 2006. I was 23 with no plan, I just had a passion for building websites, and I was more of a design guy, honestly. Got into doing SEO pretty much right away because that was naturally,
because you like to win.
Well, I mean, you build a website, but then people want leads, so I kind of got in SEO and doing those things, and started as a local company working with local companies, local brands, and so not by design, but through networking and things like that, I had a few lawyers that I started working with pretty early on. Let's just say, pre 2010, 2009, 2008. And again, not by design. I had all kinds of companies, breweries, restaurants, attorney, so HVAC companies, you name it. And as I kind of hit walls with my business, I grew to like 5 or 6 people, kept hitting the wall, wasn't sure what to do. And I hadn't learned business yet, like processes and systems and delegation and hiring and all that stuff. So I just kept hitting these walls. And so in 2017, joined forces with a partner, and we founded Array Digital So now I have a partnership, and we came together to kind of refresh and restart and say, all right, what do we need to do? And I was in some mastermind groups for agency owners. Kevin, Eric, you guys aren't niching. Why aren't you niching? Like, what are you focused on? And it was such a foreign concept to us at the time. And we weren't sure. We were kind of scared to do it. So we looked at all of our clients. And finally, we were like, we have to do this. We have to niche. We have to focus. Message. Who are we talking to? Brand. Like all these things. We're like, we have done a bad job of this for ourselves. And so we looked across all of our clients and make a choice. And so a lot of factors went into it. We made a spreadsheet. We made, market growth.
Oh, I love it.
All these things. And like, okay, well, who do we like to work with? Who are our best clients? And we chose legal. We also spun off a HVAC company, which we still own. This is crushing it. And so we have 3 agencies actually now, and they're all niche.
Cool.
They're all niche focused. We have about 50 plus full-time employees. But our radios was only legal, separate teams, separate everything, because I wanted my teams to be immersed and understand how law firms operate. The business side of it, not just SEO or marketing, like what makes them operate, what makes them tick, what makes them profitable, what do we need to tell them that they need to do to look at. So my whole team lives and breathes law firm marketing all day versus having like this, like the Scorpion model, like where we just have landing pages for every single type of niche we do. They're not really niched. The teams aren't specialized. And so we knew we wanted to do that. So that was the decision we made, and we've been doing that since, I guess, 2017.
There, I hope you're enjoying the conversation and your sandwich as much as we are. I want to take a moment to share a few words about our sponsor, Marketing Boss. If you're a law firm owner looking to supercharge your growth, our team at Marketing Boss is here to help. We've got over a decade of experience and a proven track record, and we specialize in growing law firms like yours with data-driven marketing leadership. So if you own a law firm and you're ready to get a predictable, steady flow of cases from your marketing, let's connect at marketing-boss.com.
And let me ask you this. Of course, it's a no-brainer if you have a law firm and you need somebody that does what you do to say, just hire me, right? But assuming that you want to walk them through, meaning hire you, assuming that you want to walk them through the thought process of what should you even look for, or how should you even vet an agency. And I love having these conversations because as a CMO is one of the things that I help my clients do, right?
Sure.
Smoke out the phonies and really get to the bottom of, do they know their stuff or not? But I'm curious, you as an agency owner, what would you advise people to look for, and what questions can they ask to figure out if somebody really knows their stuff as well as you and your team do?
Sure. Well, so we do web development design, and then of course SEO, Google Ads, search, local, stuff like that. But that's kind of like if you're looking for those kinds of things. So I would say first, are they asking questions and listening and recording notes the first meeting? I have no clue what they need. I have no clue where they are, and no matter what the recommendation, we can try to move fast, but that's a bad idea. So, are they asking lots of questions? Some sensitive, like what's your revenue, what's your lead count, what's your average case value, what's your close rate, what's your intake like, what process you have in place. So if they're not asking a lot of questions and you're just boom sales presentation, we can help you with A, B, or C package, then automatically they have no information to even build a strategy or understand if they can be successful for you. They don't know that. So I would say cut them out right away. Second, they have to be really good looking and you have to like them. That's good. So if they can't build a strategy for you, then already you're in a bad spot. Next, I would say things to look out for. What is their content like? This is SEO specifically. Content. Have you read their content for the clients? Is it written by AI or is it written by human beings? Now you can leverage AI.
Mm-hmm.
We do all human. We also have a AI assisted type for different price points, and then we have a co-create program where we work with our clients to write, because lawyers love to write, and some you can't write for. They just won't do it. And so we have a co-create program where we work and do client workshops, video calls. We lay out every single heading, the title,
That's
the
nice.
data. They just answer the questions. So it's like you're talking to me right now. We'll record you and say, hey, what's the what happens if you get pulled over for a DUI, blah blah blah, in Florida? They can just answer it or write it up, and literally it's their voice, their response. It's unique to them, and it's legally accurate, right? Mm-hmm. So we have different options because we can't just write for every attorney, because sometimes they won't allow it. They just don't let it happen.
Yeah, I've met a couple.
And our content process is pretty unique. Are they following ABA guidelines for every single state, right? Have you read just read the content or look at it. A lot of attorneys don't have a clue. They don't read it. They don't approve it. And so there's ethical issues, there's legal issues, and then there's ABA. And then I think the most important, which is missed most of the time, is your brand and your voice. Read the blog that the agency wrote, and you're expecting a client to read that, and it doesn't sound like you, it doesn't carry like you, it's not positioned for that avatar. That's a massive problem, and no one catches that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't look at that. They just think, oh, if all the right things are in place, this has to work, and it's like, no, the experience
it's for
has to be
SEO.
there.
It's for Google. No, you know what Google wants? Real helpful content from real experts that are trusted, that have unique content. Meaning AI can't just go regenerate it. It's unique, and that's how you're going to win. And then the client wants to feel like they have a connection, and you're answering their question, and they go, you know what? I love what they're saying, and I feel like they can represent me.
Yeah.
So it's so important, and then that content can be used for other things and social and whatever. But just think about your content in blogs. It's not for Google. It's for the client on the other end, and that's what Google wants. So position yourself that way, and you'll win. Other big things is backlinks. I'm going to get you 100 backlinks, Margarita, per month. That's not good. You don't want to do that, and they're not going to be quality. They're going to be spammy. I'm talking to a client right now that's got like a sex India, foreign countries sites links, and you can see it was just acquired, right? Look at backlinks that are being done. It should be a few a month, depending on your budget.
Well thought out, well researched, relevant, quality traffic.
Literally, really handpicked. It's handpicked. You look at potential links. We have a budget that we pull from. We use that client's budget, and we handpick and select and get those links on a monthly basis. And then, are they doing digital PR? Do they offer that service? That's a great way to get backlinks.
What's digital PR for those that don't know?
Digital PR would be any firm news. It could be a new attorney, new services, new locations, whatever. Every firm has ability to have some news. We draft up, it's a content writing service, but we draft up a press release for that firm. And then we distribute that out to, if it's a state, let's say if you're focused in Florida, then we would distribute that out to every news outlet in the state of Florida. So it might be a couple hundred, 200. And so it gets picked up on physical news outlets, digital websites for news outlets that have digital, of course. It builds backlinks, and then all kinds of other organizations pick up and backlink that to your state. We can also do national and things like that. But it creates a natural, real backlinks, brand lift, brand mentions. It goes beyond. It can expand out to interviews. And just like if I was to get you on to the local news channel, right? We're doing it at scale, and we can do that on a monthly basis for a firm. So it's got so many benefits to it. And then, of course, the firm can put that in newsletter, email outreach. They can use it for other things on LinkedIn as well. So
I love that. And Kevin, if somebody's listening to this and they're like, oh my gosh, I got to talk to this guy. I think he's got what I need for my law firm, right? Because of course, just it's got to happen with at least one person listening to this. How can they get a hold of you?
Well, you can go to arraydigital.com. If you want to connect with me personally, which I strongly encourage. I love connecting with people and talking to people. You don't have to be a client. LinkedIn. I'm heavy on LinkedIn. So Kevin Daisey, that's Daisey. And I post often on there. I connect with, I have 20-some thousand law firm or lawyer followers. Mm-hmm. And then the podcast, the Managing Partners podcast, 350.
How can somebody apply to be on your podcast?
Yeah, so reach out to me by email, Kevin at arraydigital.com, LinkedIn. I'm always looking for amazing guests. You are being one of them. Yay. So I've had 350 law firm owners. Most of them, Ken Hardison, Louise Scott. I got Bob Simon coming on in a week or so. So some of the best, Ben Glass, you name them. And so there's a lot of great content and conversations, just like we're having here, from those leaders in the legal space. And there's a lot of good content you can learn from. So, yeah, there's a few ways to connect with me, but you choose one, and I'll be happy.
There you have it. You have so many different choices, and thank you so much for all those tips. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with our audience? I know you're really big on, hey, no matter what size or how old your firm is, you can benefit from a digital presence. Anything that you want to share? Last words of advice?
Yeah, I would say, I worked hard last year with my team to come up with plans and packages that, even the smallest firm, a solo, we can get them started on their journey. It's coaching, it's content, it's a website, it's included at even $850 a month. You get a website just as much. Get a website as someone paying us $50,000 a month, because all the same. Like, it's the same platform that anyone's going to get. So, also we offer all the way down to solos that need this help, and they need to start this journey of organic and SEO and content. But I think one of the biggest tips, listening to Margarita and what she's doing, but the brand, your messaging, there's so much upfront work that you have to figure out. Again, we talked about this for what we do to be successful. Or if you start driving some traffic with ads, or you're doing your own PPC or whatever, you're going to waste a lot of time and money if you're not taking care of those other things. And so I get all the time, Kevin, what's the biggest, latest trends? The biggest trend I see is that law firms aren't freaking doing the basic stuff. And it's all day. I'm surprised. It's just like, what are these firms doing? And some of these firms they've done okay based on referrals and building up that, but they have missed the boat on just the basic stuff. And so I bring my conversations usually back to like, well, let's talk about what you're missing before we go into technical stuff and cutting edge things, and how you can expand. You have to get these things in order, and you're going to need help outside of what we can do for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And Marketing Boss can help you with that. We definitely develop brands, brand guides, creative angle,
100%.
So that once you connect with the folks that are going to do all of the tasks to actually get you out there, there's substance there, and that's fun for us. So we live in that space. Kevin, it has been a pleasure. For those of you that tuned in, I really appreciate you coming on and taking advantage of this amazing content that we just co-created. And remember, if you need help, you know where to find David, and you know where to find Marketing Boss. Thanks for watching.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Care Sandwich. Remember, the way we care for our clients, our teams, and ourselves can make all the difference in our success. Until next time, keep caring, keep growing, and I'll see you on the next episode of Care Sandwich.